What's up, everyone? This is Youngling Jr. So we have something that happened in September 29th. This was a crazy case here. We have a gentleman named Lekeon Woods. He's 24 years old, and it was a video that went viral that he was beaten by the cops. I mean, you can tell. I'm gonna show the video in a second, but his both of his eyes were swollen shut, and this happened out of Jacksonville. It was supposed to be due to a traffic violation, a seatbelt violation, but they come to find out that he was trafficking drugs, okay, according to the charges, right? And they was charging him for resisting an arrest as well, violent arrest. And because I believe that according to the camera, because we gotta show, they show like different pieces of the body cameras from the police officer. So want to know that whole encounter, right? So as soon as they pulled him over, okay, here for all right, little violation, did some research, okay, drug trafficking. Yes, he panicked and ran away because it was a video that showed him running away, and then he got tased. And one of the sheriffs of Florida, the police, they was saying that, hey, are their officers on scene were justified because according to him, they was doing what they was told in his training, despite even the fact that he was handcuffed. He was completely defenseless. All right. And they said like, hey, he was justified, and based on these charges, and that's it. But the thing is, though, of course, he has a family attorney that's going to go ahead and talk on his behalf. And this was kind of sad, man. They said the mugshots taken after his arrest showed the suspect with both eyes swollen shut, along with bruises and abrasions on his face. And they said that because he got stunned, right? He got stunned with a stun gun. He fell face down, which he did, but that's what caused the bruises on his face. But no, man, this man suffered a concussion. He was getting kneed, he was elbowed. This was all caught on camera by some Samaritans here around the area. They said Woods' attorney is calling for a federal investigation of the incident and has accused Jacksonville Sheriff T.K. Waters of covering it up. Waters said at a press conference that the body cam footage release shows that the officers' use of force was justified, adding that all the officers are still on the street where they belong. There was force used by arresting officers, and yes, that force is ugly, but the reality is that all force, all violence is ugly, Waters said. But just because force is ugly does not mean it's unlawful or contrary to agency policy. Waters and Mike Shell, his assistant chief for public accountability, told reporters that the officers responding knew that Woods had once been accused of murder. All right. Now, he was on probation for armed robbery and had been connected to firearms and drug trafficking when they decided to chase him for a traffic stop. Body cam footage shows Woods sprinting away from the officers who were chasing him, and one of them threatened to use his taser on Woods if he did not surrender. When he didn't surrender, the officer used the taser once, but it did not appear to affect Woods. He then used a stun gun the second time, causing Woods to fall flat on his face. One of the officers said in an arrest report that he repeatedly hit Woods in the head and ribs. Yeah, that damaged his kidneys. I think that's pretty much overboard. Yes, I'm not condoning, if this is true, I'm not condoning what he did. Yes, those are criminal charges. Yeah, you need to be paid. You need to be, charged, to the full extent of the law. Yes, but the way, to apprehend this young man is uncalled for. I'm like, literally, Rodney Kingdom. I'm like, come on, man. So that's the huge issue. It's not because like, okay, we're just gonna, get rid of his charges, that he did. Yes, if he drug trafficking, yes, that's criminal activity. Yes, you need to be held accountable for that. But the thing is that even if he was running away, I mean, okay, you got him behind handcuffs. You have it was so many officers there. He's no longer a threat. Put him in the squad car. Why had to do excessive beating? And so this is when we gotta, hold these type of officers accountable. They said another officer said he kneed Woods in the head and shoulders, and this is according to his testament, while others punched him, according to the arrest report. So that caused his the bruising there. He's been treated in the hospital right now. So Water also said that some of the body cam footage circulating online has been intentionally altered, saying that another officer's kick Woods in the head. So it's going to be a definitely investigation here. Woods has been charged for resisting arrest with violence and armed trafficking and cocaine, methamphetamine, and other felonies. All right, so those heavy drug charges. But seeing this, man, it's really unfortunate, man. You know, I'm gonna have a video of his attorney talking, though. You guys can be the judge here, but I'm just like, man, you know. So, like I said, you know, nothing but the best for that young man. But you know, if those charges that he did, yeah, I hope he changed his ways. But the thing is, too, he needs to get justice for that. He didn't. I don't believe he deserved for that. Anybody deserved for that. You know, police brutality. I mean, don't even treat active shooters like that. You know, it's just kind of crazy though. So, you know, it was different races of officers there too. So, and I don't know if it's a racial motivated thing or it's just like, hey, you know, some officers just want to abuse their power here. That's what it looks like here in that video. But at the end of the day, this is definitely going to be, I believe this is definitely going to go to trial. So we have to see if these officers are going to be on administrative leave or, I don't know, go to a different department or fired. We have to see from the sheriff. Depends how great this attorney is. But more is going to come out, though. But with Keon Woods, man, dang, man, it's really unfortunate, man. I just hate for him to be in that position, right? Because I know people are like, well, he shouldn't be in that position in the first place, committing crimes. Yeah, you're right. You know, he shouldn't be doing that, but still at the same time, though, I mean, should be held professionally by law enforcement. You don't have to beat damn near to a bloody pulp, right? So, he's half to death. So that's all I got to say, man. 24 years old. This definitely been circulating around here. I'm pretty sure more content creators going to talk about this, but I'm gonna go ahead and just, you know, post the video here. You guys can, by the end of this video, you guys can watch it here. That's all we have to say. Like, comment, subscribe, share this video. I'm curious to hear about your responses here about this situation. Until I get more information, definitely will talk about it more. All right, I'm out.
Community on the steps of the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office headquarters. This comes following the release of body-worn camera video of his arrest. JSO released body cam footage from 4 officers who all responded that day. Attorneys for Woods are saying that they've sent a letter to the Department of Justice asking for an investigation.
Tarek Miner breaks down that newly released body camera video for us, and reporter Janice Harris will explain the use of force policy. But our coverage begins with news for Jax reporter Scott Johnson, who spoke with Wood's family attorneys one day after speaking with the sheriff. Scott.
Joy, last night at this time, Sheriff T.K. Waters told me that his officers acted in accordance with their training when they took Woods into custody. But attorneys for Woods, who's in the hospital right now, say their actions were unnecessarily violent. They spoke on the steps of police headquarters this afternoon. The large group says the sheriff's office was not totally transparent in their release of the video. And they also say there was no justification to punch Woods and to take him into custody, even if he was resisting. The attorneys tell me they've sent a letter to the feds to intervene in this case.
We already got a petition in line to Washington, D.C., Department of Justice. Because this is, when you also see the Jacksonville Sheriff Office investigate themselves with the deal they got with the state's attorney's office over here, that because you would think in this case that the Florida Division of Law Enforcement come in to investigate.
Coming up all new at 6, we'll hear more from them, specifically why they feel that JSO didn't have the proper justification to follow Woods and pull him over in the first place. We'll also hear from Sheriff T.K. Waters and why he is saying his officers acted the proper way within their training. That's all coming up at 6. For now, we're live at police headquarters. Scott Johnson, Channel 4.
We got a petition in line to Washington, D.C., Department of Justice. Because this is, when you also see the Jacksonville Sheriff Office investigate themselves with the deal they got with the state's attorney's office over here, that because you would think in this case that the Florida Division of Law Enforcement come in to investigate. See, in Georgia, the GBI would have came in and did the investigation.
It's unclear how effective that request will be, but this is not the first time JSO has been under the federal microscope. Here are some past cases. One involved Myra Martinez. She's a woman who was recorded in 2019 being punched in the stomach while in custody at the Duval County Jail. This case wound up in front of a federal judge who said the case demonstrates JSO officers have, since 2004, engaged in the practice of using excessive force on Jacksonville residents. These incidents illustrate that the city repeatedly took no corrective steps to remedy the officers' actions. In 2016, there was a case of Vermel Bing, who was shot by JSO. At the time, Sheriff Mike Williams asked the FBI to investigate. The state attorney's office eventually deemed the shooting justified. The DOJ also petitioned in that case, but we were never given a ruling from the agency. That same year, there was also the case of Keith Crowder, who was shot during a traffic stop. In that case, local activist groups asked for the FBI and U.S. Attorney's Office to investigate. And we also saw another high-profile case in 2004 involving Sammy Evans. He died after being subdued by a rookie officer in 2004. After 4 years, we finally got a response from the Justice Department that the results of their investigation were exempt, and an answer of what they found was never provided. Our conclusion that our officers acted appropriately in regard to the law and administrative policy. We're live downtown. Scott Johnson, Channel 4, the local station.